Hello there! It is time to collect our wonderful high scale dragon. So today we will be going through all of the heroic combat quest guides that you'll need to be able to get tons of bonus orbs for this dragon. And of course, because we got to lap 15 and we came at least top 3, we get high scale striking and the 2 other dragons from the leaderboard section of this event. But we have these heroic combat quests 1 and 2, and to be able to take part in these you have to hatch high scale, striking and dark ash. So those are the 3 dragons, or 3 of the dragons from the heroic race. And now you will end up by the end of heroic combat quest 2 having to empower the high scale dragon at least once, but I will go through all of that in a moment because we've got a big printout guide for exactly how much everything's going to cost gems wise, times wise, but we've got our wonderful boy high scale. But we have our wonderful high scaly boy right here, and so because we will be empowering him and we will be taking advantage of his other quests, I am going to be taking him straight to level 40, same with the other dragons. So essentially, if you want to take part in the heroic combat quest, we have heroic combat quest 1 and heroic combat quest 2. If you want to do quest 1, you'll need all 3 dragons to be level 30 by the last stage of quest 1, which means it's going to cost a total food amount of 1.7 million. However, heroic combat quest 2 is the one that you won't be able to do unless you properly prepared food-wise for this, because to complete the last stage of quest 2, the legend and epic dragon needs to be level 40, and the heroic dragon, so in this case high scale, needs to be level 45, which means he has to be empowered at least once. And these quests, they have a cooldown of 6 hours, which means that you have to log in every 6 hours and do them every 6 hours. There isn't a ton of leeway with them either, so you really can't afford to not immediately hatch these dragons at the beginning of the event. You have to gem hatch them if you don't already have them. And then you're gonna have to gem the empowerment section of the high scale quest as well, which means that you're going to have to spend at least 56 gems on skipping his empowerment. So the total food cost to complete both of the quests is around about 28 million food, and the total amount of gems to complete both is going to be about 93, including gemming all of the hatching. So nearly 100 gems and like, what, 30 million food? It's a substantial amount, but you get tons of extra heroic orbs for your boy high scale from this. And plus, we have the other quests currently ongoing for high scale, which are the really big ones, which makes it actually worthwhile to gem the empowerment of high scale beyond just the current one for heroic combat 2. So personally, I am going to be empowering high scale multiple times pretty much immediately, because we have Empower Happy Hour on right now. And so that means that if you wanted to take him to E5, right now would be the time to do it. The only trouble is, of course, you're not going to have the bonus orbs to be able to do it immediately until you know, actually finish off the heroic combat quest. But if you got tons of orbs like I did from the air quote pay to win collection, then you are dead set. I know that right now we've got our beautiful and angelic eternal dragons doing a battle. That's just because I'm trying to rank up beautiful so that I can give some orbs away to people and potentially trade for soul orbs. But yeah, we've got a zesty quest on as well. But these heroic quests, these are the big ones. These are the ones that are going to be spicy, because completing these quests can net you gems and it can net you orbs for high scale. And it is not a small amount, it is a huge amount. And if you manage to take high scale all the way up beyond level 60 and empower 5, you can even get tons of Joker orbs from it as well. So the heroic quests are very, very tempting alongside heroic combat quests, but you will need to take high scale way beyond empowerment level 1. Like, look at these, 20 gems, 50 scale orbs. Oh, it just keeps going up and up and up. And of course, some bonus food on the way there. My goodness, it is so worth it. It's actually much better for us being free-to-play players now than it was before when the dragons weren't 200 orb dragons, because even though the dragons are 200 orb dragons now, when we have the events finished, you'll see that we have these quests and we have other ways to get orbs for the heroics these days, so it becomes a hell of a lot easier these days to actually empower your new heroics compared to before. So I'm in big favor of these quest types and event types. I would love to see these continue going forward. Will that actually happen? I don't know. But I can't stress enough, just you have to be logging in every 6 hours for these quests, for the heroic combat quests. If you don't, you're going to end up failing them. You can't really afford to, you know, only log in every 8 hours or every 9 hours. Of course, we've also got a new collection here today, Fruits of Nature. And this one is very slightly different to normal. I would say this collection isn't very interesting, apart from this one here, where you can get Toxaberry, which is the mythical, not out of the puzzle event, but instead you can get him by collecting the 3 other dragons that are going to be released during this time period, which is a very different way of doing it. Pay-to-win collection is probably not doable, but we said that last time and it was, but usually they're not. I think last time was very much the exception, not the rule, but I guess since we went through Heroic Combat, we should go through the new event as well. So, taking a look at these 3 new fruity-themed dragons, firstly we have Water Melee, which I love the design on this dragon, I really do. He's in the current tower event, which we'll move on to in a second. We also have Dragafruit, who is going to be available, I believe, in the upcoming maze event. And then we have the Pineapple Dragon, which is of course based on a pineapple, and he is going to be coming in the puzzle event. So rather than the puzzle event having the mythical now, it looks like they're gonna just make it a regular one of the legends, and then make the mythical, at least this time, collection only, which I don't mind too much because this actually gives a good incentive to go for the dragons rather than for the very meh collection rewards this time around. So I'm definitely going to be going for Toxaberry, and plus you do get a free Phoenix perk on top. But this does mean that you will have to be logging in for all of the events and doing well in all of the events. Luckily for us, puzzle event, we are very lucky because that is coming up, and we have like 10 lots of quests that we can use during puzzle events, get us tons of extra moves. That is going to be fantastic. The other event that we've got coming up, being the Maze Island, is also going to be pretty good because it is a long maze, which means that in long maze events, usually the new dragon is obtainable. In the short maze events, they're usually not, but in long maze events, like 9,800 should be very easily doable. So I'm definitely going to be picking up Dragafruit myself. I would say the one that could be the biggest problem out of all of these dragons is actually potentially going to be the one in the current event, which is of course your boy right at the top of the tower, Water Melee. The reason being that during tower events it is very much RNG reliant, because the sort of drops that you get are very much going to come down to how lucky you get with your actual, you know, rolls in this tower event itself. So yeah, that's the thing. We should really collect all of our currency while we're here. I don't know if there we go, we've got level 1 dragon. Let's level up this level 1 dragon and then spend some of our tower event currency. I will say, as I always do, that before you spend any currency in tower or any other event, first, you should decide whether you are going for, say, the dragons, which in this case would give you this collection, or whether you are going for, say, this collection or this level of the collection first. Because once you've decided whether you want to go for the event items or you want to go for the dragons, then that is when you can safely spend currency, because the way that you can get the event items is by opening these special tribal chests, and you could either get fruit ornament or tribal fruit rune, but I am not going for the event chests. Instead, the only thing that we'll need to do is focus on going on these blue catapults. Don't go on the down catapults. All that you need to do during tower event, if you want to get the dragon, is go for the upward blue catapults. And now, I know that some people ask for guides for tower events sometimes, but you really don't need guides for tower events. It's one of the events that you really don't benefit anything from having a guide. It's just, are you going for event chests, or are you going for the dragon at the top of the tower? Like, that's all you need to know, and as soon as you know that, you know exactly where you're going. So you don't really need a guide for this part of the event. And, of course, if you just get really unlucky with your rolls and your drops, that's going to mean that you're going to have a harder time getting to the top of this tower than someone else. It is possible to log in for every reset of this event and watch ads and still not get to the top of the tower. It has happened to people, it can happen, so you really need to not waste any of your currency if you want to guarantee the dragon. These tower events are pretty much always like that, unless you get a really big drop from the ads, because there are event drops in the ads currently, as usual, as in, I should say, currency. But I would say that if you want to go for water melee, you should really just be going as quickly as you possibly can up the tower. If you don't and you get sidetracked by other things, there is a very good chance that you may end up failing this event. So that is my warning to you. You've heard my warning. I can't warn you more than that. It's just, you need to be going for these blue catapults. That should be your sole focus. And if you get bad luck early on with your rolls, it doesn't actually matter too much. What really matters is if you get bad luck, like bad luck rolls later on, because it's more expensive to roll the higher on the tower you are. So obviously the further up the tower you are, if you get bad drops near the top of the tower, you're going to be wasting the most event currency. So like the first 4 levels or so, if you get like mostly ones, doesn't matter that much, but the further up you go, it really does begin to matter. So I hope that you get good luck throughout the whole of the tower event, but mainly I hope that you get good luck towards the second half of this tower. But I guess we'll get on this catapult, go a little bit further, see how far we can get. Oh look, I say that and now we're getting ones. You know what? Our luck wasn't too bad on the way up, so fine. I'll take basically 3 1 drops, because it doesn't matter if you get 3 on this. As soon as you hit the catapult, that's it. All of your remaining moves get wiped, which I've wanted them to change that for a while now, but I doubt they will. But either way, there is realistically only one way that you can go to get to the catapults, so you know, there isn't really any way to get lost unless you just aren't paying attention to where the catapult is. Like you'll see here, we have to go this way to get to the catapult. There is no other way to get there. If you do get lost somehow, please let me know, because I'm very confused as to how it's possible. Oh, but we are going to hit a gems chest, which is nice on our way here, you know. We did get just food out of it, but you know, these can also drop a very small amount of gems, but I will take any kind of gems personally, because, you know, I like gems, and we're about to spend tons of them on empowering our boy. Oh, I love mistletoe. I already have mistletoe, but I actually love the dragon. So yeah, we are up to this part of the tower event. We will be heading down to the bottom right in a second. I say that, but this stupid offer's popped up. But yeah, we'll head to the bottom right after we get the next resets worth of currency, and then you'll see that we just need to go a little bit further, and then we will get water melee at the top of the tower. So that is what I am going for. But moving back over to, well, I guess I'll mention this very quickly. There are these event chests in ads, and again, there's currency in ads. There's also the coins in here as well, which we are just about to get there. Tomorrow will be the day that we open up this gold chest. But yeah, make sure you're watching your ads and make sure you're doing your zesty quests if you want to help with the tower event. But like I said, the main thing that is drawing me today are these heroic quests, because look at these rewards on stage 20, 21, and 22. They're so tasty. 80 gems, 100 gems. It means that you can just sit there and empower, speed up your dragon, and you'll still end up getting gems back, which is why this is such a good time to gem during Empower Happy Hour. And stage 22, if you manage to get the dragon all the way up to Empower 5 and beyond level 60, that's 100 Joker Orbs, which is very, very tasty indeed. Now, of course, this is going to require you, if you are going to skip it right now to get full value out of Empower Happy Hour, you are going to have to immediately gem all of the empowerment, which, you know, since we'd have to do it anyway for heroic combat, it doesn't actually matter. It's just I had another dragon sitting in my empowerment slot that I'll need to move out of the way. But we will definitely be taking high scale all the way up to a very big level because, yeah, I desperately want him. Well, I guess I'll do it in 2 hours' time. As soon as your boy Red Rose has finished empowering, that's it. High scale is gonna go absolutely berserk in terms of the levels. So that is my plan for these current events. But again, if you do want to have the full guides for Heroic Combat 1 and 2 in front of you, this has been pinned in the Dragon City chat section of my Discord server for a very long time now, and it goes through total costs, how much it will cost to gem certain parts of it if there's certain hours left, but all of the info that you need is right here for Heroic Combat Quest 1 and 2. And again, since we have the other quests ongoing at the same time, there's never been a better time to finish Heroic Combat 1 and 2, but just in case you weren't aware, you can get 200 orbs for stage 11, and then you can also get 120 orbs for stage 11 of Heroic Combat 1. So that is already 320 orbs, and then if you add up all the orbs from over here, and then you add on top of that all the orbs that, well, if you got them, the orbs from the pay-to-win collection from the Scaly chests, and then just orbs that you got for the dragon in general from the Scaly chests, it is a lot of orbs for Scale right now. Like, if I look at Scale, I've already got 384 orbs for him, so then if we add all of those extra orbs together, like, we can easily E5 this dragon instantly. Like, I am so ready to have another level, well, I say level 70, level 69 dragon would be fantastic. Even if he has the same primary as Sinful, I don't care. It's a free fully empowered heroic, and we've got the food for it. Well, we will do, so yeah, I don't care. That is my plan. And yeah, that is pretty much everything with the Heroic Combat questings. So for now, I wish you the best of luck with Tower Event, and I hope that you manage to finish off these Heroic Combat quests. I hope that you're ready and you have the food ready. If not, well, maybe try again next race.